Hello, everyone. So today what we're going to be looking at is the new U.S. title tourney starting this Saturday on SmackDown. This is a multi-week tournament that will culminate in the winner facing Logan Paul for the United States title, presumably Royal Rumble. So let's take a look at it. First, I would like to acknowledge the fact I'm not in my normal location. I know normally I used to sit over there. My room got changed around quite a bit, so I'm just going to give you a very quick description. So my bed used to be here, and the desk that I'm recording on now used to be over there. So we basically flipped them. So now you're kind of seeing the same thing, just backwards. You're seeing the opposite side. Because you used to see this wall, the wall in front of me, and now you're just seeing the opposite wall. Let's get into this tournament. Now, we don't know the actual first round matchups for half the bracket. However, I took an educated guess on what they're going to be based on what happened last week on SmackDown. So we're going to start with the brackets that we do know. In round one, we have Bobby Lashley versus Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross gets TV time to lose to Bobby Lashley. Bam! It's pretty cut and paste. I think Bobby will just wreck him. With the new way they're trying to push Bobby and the Street Profits as this new heel faction, there's really no chance Karrion picks up the W here. It's kind of crazy to think this guy was once threatening Roman Reigns. If you don't remember, back when he re-debuted to attack Drew McIntyre, he looked at Roman and just tick-tock, and Scarlett put an hourglass in front of him. I guess that hourglass hasn't run out yet. Bobby to move on. In the other first round matchup that we know of, Dragon Lee will face Santos Escobar for a spot in the divisional. It's a match, it's a rematch per se of Survivor Series, and I think Dragon gets the win back. I think you see it every once in a while on WWE TV. It's a match between two. Oh, another thing. My figures that I use for examples are all the way over there now, so I have to go get them. One moment. So it's like you got this big bad heel, and you got the kind of upstart baby face, and they're having a big match. Heels dominating. Oh, jackhammer. Heel gets distracted by something or other, probably Carlito, and then what? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness! And then the heel kicks out, and the face runs away like, oh, okay. And the heel's like, no, damn it, as Vince would say, damn it. And they get mad, and then they leave. I think that's what will happen here. I see Dragon Lee advancing to face Bobby Lashley in the divisional. This, of course, is assuming that these two will bracket into each other. They may not, but if they don't, I will modify this video in a few days after SmackDown and adjust my predictions as such. In the other half of the bracket we don't actually know yet, I predict that Kevin Owens will go against Austin Theory because the other options are against Grayson Waller or the NXT superstar. And he can't face Grayson Waller because he already fought Grayson Waller last week. And he can't face the NXT guy because that makes Theory and Waller fight each other. And they're a team. So the logic doesn't really work. I think he's going to go against Theory. And I think he's going to beat Theory. I think Theory's fallen off, man. It's kind of crazy to think this guy's a 3-time U.S. champ and one of the longest reigning champs of the modern era. And yet he's in this situation getting knocked out of a tourney first round now for said U.S. title. So I see Kevin advancing to the divisional. To face the NXT guy, actually, I expect both Theory and Waller getting knocked out of this thing. You know, Kev already fought Waller, and whoever this NXT person is, we don't know yet. Push him, why not? There's a high chance this could be somebody big. It could be somebody... It's got to be somebody big if they're putting him on main roster television. So we could see the likes of Braun Breaker maybe come out, and that would be dope. But I don't think it's going to be Breaker. I think it's going to be somebody a little more middle of the row. Someone at the level of Trick Williams or Wes Lee. But not either one of those guys. Somebody around that level. And Kevin Owens will beat that person in the divisional round, whoever it may be, to advance to the final. I think the Kevin Logan story is just too good to pass up. And the way they've been kind of teasing it, Logan was cutting a promo in the ring. Ha ha ha! I've created this U.S. title tourney, and then Theory and Waller came out and were like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Oh yeah, let's party together." And then Kev came out and he kind of gave him a stare down, gave him a little promo. Then they beat up Kevin Owens. But nonetheless, I think Kevin's going to advance to the final here, where he will be facing Bobby Lashley. I think Dragon Lee. It's going to be a fun little upset win in the first round, but he's going to run into a buzzsaw in Bobby Lashley in the divisional. Again, they're trying to present him really strong. And honestly, squash match. Like, thinking, oh man, Dragon Lee, he got that surprise upset win last round. Let's see what he does this time. Okay. Okay, Dragon Lee, let's have a good match. Oh, okay. Bam! Oh, what the hurt lock. 1, 2, 3. Instantly beats up Dragon Lee. That would honestly just show how good Bobby is, and I think it's a good way to present him and bring him to the final. So that's the final. Kevin Owens and Bobby Lashley. Either one of these guys, you can make a good case for him. But as I said earlier, Kevin, that promo on SmackDown is just a little bit too in-depth to think that he's not going to win, or at least challenge for it soon. I don't know when this actual match is going to happen, but if you take a look at the calendar right now, okay, let's look at the calendar. December 5th is today. So let's see, SmackDown is on the 8th, so that's the first round. So then the 15th, so that's the other first round. Then the 22nd, which is probably going to be the divisionals. Then the 29th, which is probably going to be the final. So on the 5th of January, the U.S. title contender will be decided. Now, the U.S. title, or the Royal Rumble, is on the 29th, or 28th, sorry, which is about 3-4 weeks out from that. I think the build is perfect. 3 weeks is very good to build, and with this title tourney, you can get even more build as you're going through the tourney. What's a good example here? Karrion Kross, Drew McIntyre, if I'm going to keep using Karrion Kross as examples here. Karrion came back while Drew was looking at Roman, beat him up. And then they feuded for what felt like eternity. And while was the feud, good? No. But it was a feud, and that is something. So let's look. Let's look at Karrion Kross on my favorite thing here. His name's Kevin Kaiser, by the way. So he was once called Kevin Crunk. That is a name. So he has had quite a few matches with McIntyre, mostly live events stuff. But we're just going to be looking at a televised show, broadcast shows here. Okay, he has had 4 matches involving Karrion Kross. There's a Intercontinental Fatal 5-Way, and that doesn't really count, the Royal Rumble, and the matches at Crown Jewel 22 and Extreme Rules 22, respectively. Karrion won the first, Drew won the second. So, a couple months of build, voila, you have built a story. You don't necessarily need as long as they did, but it's possible, because Clash at the Castle was in September, so Karrion had started feuding with Drew in September, right? Karrion started feuding with Drew in September. Drew has his match with Roman, loses, and then he goes into that feud already kind of prepared, and he's able to do whatever he needs to do. So that's what I think is going to happen here. I think Kevin Owens is definitely going to get the final. He's going to get the victory, beat Bobby Lashley. And yet again, it's going to advance the storyline of the Profits and Lashley kind of doing really well and then just can't really get it done in the end. And Kevin, he's a great guy. He'll be able to not necessarily carry Logan, but really help Logan get a banger match in come Rumble-ish. So that's my prediction. Kevin Owens to win the tourney. What do you think? Do you think my seeding is wrong? Do you think Karrion's going to win? That's dope. I wouldn't mind it, honestly. I think Karrion's pretty cool fella. In fact, I have him as one of my wallpapers on my phone. So, have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good dusk, good whatever, and goodbye.